I am not going to put your marks up there, right? All right, the first question. These are application questions. I actually thought the other grades will do bad, but they actually did good. So there's a reason why they are grade 11. It tells. There was that question on ratio. Only one child got it right. It's Mukambambi. Yeah, that one. You have to be good to be able to do that question. Right. These are fractions here, right? Equivalent fractions means fractions that are equal. They're equivalent, they're not equal. Like if you have 3 out of 5 things, it's not the same as 6 out of 10. Because the person who has 6 have obviously more than you. But in terms of comparing as a fraction, there is equivalency. Because 6 out of 10 simplifies to 3 over 5. Now, there are 2 cities here, it's Rome and Moscow. I'm just going to write down the fractions. These fractions I'm writing down, if you simplify them, they will give you 3 over 5 or 0.6 if you choose to write it like that. The other one was 12 out of 20. And these ones will give you Rome when you are starting with it. R being 21 out of 35, O being the 30 out of 30, and so on. So if someone was to do that, I'll give them 2 marks. But if you just write Rome, it means you could have copied, because the way you were sitting there, and I will tell you exactly what happened when we get to that question. When I tell people, I will obviously catch you out. It says find the cards. So you have to show me somewhere how you got to Rome. That's why I probably wrote where are the cards or which cards. How do you get to that? The other one was, please don't use decimals, because 3 over 7, if you take 3 over 7 and you write it as a decimal, it becomes a recurring decimal somewhere. So now you're forced to round. And then you get tired and you don't round the other ones. That's why you were supposed to work only with fractions. So the fractions I have there was 27 over 63. If you simplify, if you punch that in, 27 out of 63. People, it gives you that fraction. All right? Fraction button is what? Shift. No, this one you just press SD. All right? It gives you the 3 over 7. No, I'll fix it now. Don't worry. Let's see. 3 over. Okay, we're good to go. All right. The other ones was 24 over 56. This also, it simplifies to 3 over 7. The other one was 9 over 21. The other one was 33 over 77. The other one was 6 out of 14. Because you can see it's like 3 times 2 and 7 times 2. And the other one was 60 out of 140. Well, this one gives you Moscow, not Soweto. Soweto is not a capital city. It's like saying Kadatura, because Soweto stands for Southwestern Townships. It's like a township in Johannesburg, outside Johannesburg, but it's a township. It's not a capital city. Johannesburg is an industrial city. Pretoria is the capital city. Rome is the capital city of Italy. Moscow is the capital city of Russia. How many people got question 2 wrong?
How many?
Look here. The thing is, with this one, I didn't even mind the method. I just wanted the answer, which is 26. On this calculator, the way you put it is very easy, right? You say 1 upon 2. And most of you have the same calculator, right? And that's all you have to do. You don't even, if you have a Kamagotchi dough, you'll need to put in brackets. 1/4. That takes care of the numerator. Now you come to the denominator, which is the same thing, but it's just multiplication.
Oh, yeah, Nick. Yo, I don't know how.
Now there's a Pete in grade 11, he said he saw those multiplications as pluses. I said, as big as that fraction is there. 1/4. That's all you needed to do. And you hit enter, and then you get your answer. That's all you needed to do there. And I would have given you the full marks. I'm very generous. But without that, obviously, you will have to do a half, plus a third, plus a quarter. Then you change this long division bar. And obviously, I can put this in bracket, but just remember that when you are multiplying by a fraction is the same as dividing by its, when you are dividing by a fraction, same as multiplying by its inverse. Right. Since you are adding here, it means you have to look for the lowest common multiple. And the lowest common multiple of 2, 3, and 4 is what? Is it 12?
Yes.
Is it not 6? I'm just asking.
No, it's 12.
Okay, so it's 12. Okay. Yeah, this is actually nice on the iPad, not this stuff. How many times does 2 go into 12?
6.
So it's like 6/12 is equivalent to 1/2. How many times does 3 go into 12?
4.
4/12 is equivalent to 1/3 if you simplify it. How many times does 4 go into 12?
3.
And 3/12 is the same as 1/4. Alright? Now here, you are just multiplying numerator with numerator with numerator. 1 times 1 times 1 is 3, am I right?
1.
Okay, it's 1. And 2 times 3 is?
6.
And 6 times 20? Times 24. That's the answer. 6 times 4 is 24. Are you with me? Now let's add the numerators there because I'm running out of space there. Let me just come back here. So the numerator becomes 13/12. Are you with me so far? Now when you are dividing that by 1/24, you are going to change the division to a, and then you are going to, you're going to swap the fraction. Now from here, I think you are all understanding. 12 goes here, goes there. 13 times 2. 26. Linda, can you pronounce this word, please? Say who? Yeah, well, tomato. Reciprocal. But you know that because I gave you the information, any number, I wonder how you guys are going to answer this. Any number multiplied by its reciprocal is always going to equal to what? To 1. You understand? 1/3 times 3 is 1. 1/4 times 4. My goodness.
We get it. Now who is this week?
There is this button. There is this button. It looks like a x raised to the power of -1 on your calculator. You see that? That is actually the reciprocal button. So if you press 4 and you press that button, now the inverse, if you don't like the word reciprocal, just say inverse. The inverse of 4 raised to the power of -1 is 1/4. The inverse of 4 is 1/4. 1/4 as a decimal is 0.25. So it might give you a decimal answer on your calculator. Do you understand that? So if you want to find the inverse of 1/4, the inverse, then you'll see it's 4. That button, the x raised to the power of -1, that button is your reciprocal button. Okay, you don't need that button to tell you what an inverse of a number is. Now, you can't just find the reciprocal of 1 and 1/2. So you were supposed to write this as a improper fraction. And it becomes obviously what?
3/2.
3/2, right? 3/2. Now you know what the inverse of that or the reciprocal of that is.
Yes.
So a lot of people didn't do that and then they lost marks there.
And 2 of a loss.
And there's a reason why I just made that 1 mark. Because I can't give you a mark for changing that fraction from a mixed number to an improper fraction. That's not the skill I'm testing here. Yeah?
So why didn't you split it by 2 marks?
At B, I will tell you this. Let's maybe handle it from the brackets first. What is the reciprocal of 3? And you add that, right? What is the reciprocal of 4? You must pay attention. So we are going to find the inverse of this business here. So first we have to find what this answer is. Now, there's no, what is a third plus a quarter? It's 7/12. Are we okay? You will see a lot of these tricks on the internet, no? Look, if you have something like this, you can say 3 times 1 is what? Is 3. 1 times 4 is what? And then over 12. You get it? Which gives you that 7/12. But I'm looking for the inverse of this, which is 12/7. Even if you left your answer as an improper fraction, I would give you the full marks. But 7 goes into 12 one time, and 5/7 remain. Now, you get perhaps 2 marks because I felt a bit sorry. Let me give them for the third and the 1/4 that they added. So this was actually supposed to be like a 1 mark question. Yes. But you guys have been writing this test. Franz is still writing. You guys have been writing this test in the test period. Am I right? And then you came back, you wrote it 2 periods or what? But ample time. And still you can't do it. In the exam, please don't do that. A lot of you write first with pencil and then you want to rewrite with pen. You are running out of time, don't do that. When you are making a mistake, right? We even say this to the teachers, just scratch it out and start over somewhere. Do you understand that? Don't go and, please don't do this. Nah, that is not nice to say. Because, let me give you a hint, because normally we don't tell you this. We are going to try our level best to give you the benefit. Now, I'm talking about when you mark end of the year next year. Sometimes your work, what you carry over in the dotted line, is wrong. But then we can look at the method. And when we can see a method, we can go and award a mark there. As long as you didn't scratch out. Even if, wait for it, even if you wrote in pencil, and we can see it, because we cannot penalize you. But the problem is when you write the lead, all this friction of the papers and everything, that pencil marking goes off after some time. Then it's difficult for us to see it. Do you understand that? So there's also a thing called seen or implied. So sometimes we know that you imply, the only way for you to get this was the method that you used must have been correct. So don't just scratch out your working in the exam because you want to be neat and all of that stuff, or you doubt yourself. All right? Show as much as you can, even sometimes it's just 1 mark question. A very rich man leaves people, the question says leave your answer in standard form. Everybody knows you are supposed to divide by 100. This guy had 100 grandchildren, that's why we say he's rich. Okay? It's only rich people who get a lot of children. You still remember the button on your calculator for standard form? I think you go to your mode. No, you must go to the setup, that means shift setup. And then you choose 7. 7 stands for scientific notation, which is another word for standard form. And 0 to 9 is how, the rounding, the number of significant figures. So I'm going to take 2, okay? But in the exam, you take 3, so that your answer can be 3 significant figures. Goodness, what happened to the calculator? So I'm going to choose 3. It's okay. So I'm going to punch 3.6 times 10 raised to the power of 8. That's what it is. And you are dividing all of that by 100. That's the answer. That's 3 marks. Some of you change the things to 36 billion, or I don't know what, and then. So it was 3.6 times 10 raised to the power of 6. Okay. So Franz, just take 3.6 times 10 raised to the power of 8. Some of you made that an ordinary number. At least if I see this division by 100, that's why I give you 1 mark. The other 2 marks are coming from that. Okay? Please take note, I'm not giving you a mark for the 3.6 and for the 10 raised. I'm giving you a mark for all of that because that thing means something. If that is times 10 to the power 5, it's not the same value. You follow? This question was poorly answered by everybody. A man and a woman share a sum of money in the ratio 3:2. If the sum of money is double, there is where people start getting lost because they don't see how much the money is. What does the man get presently?
3.
So let because we don't know how much the money is, right? We say 3x. And what is the woman? The woman's present
2x.
contribution or a share is? It's 2x. Now you know that you are supposed to add these together. What is that? No, I'm asking, what did you say? What did you say?
No, I was asking what X
What did you say?
Okay.
5x.
Right, what is the sum is 5x. So that 5x, let me explain to you. The man will get 3 over x of the 5x, if we knew what that is, right? Okay. But when you are doubling it now, so when you double something, it means you are going to multiply this by 2. So now they have got to share 10x. But the man still wants 3x, but out of a new value now. What is the value? Out of 10x. If you simplify this, actually, if you cancel, the x's will cancel. Right? The woman, she still get woman. How do you write woman?
Okay.
She still get the same. What is left? If the man gets 3 out of 10, what is left? 7. 7x over 10x. Ne? Look here. When you take the 3 plus 2, you get 5. So they are sharing out of 5 parts. But here now, the part is not 5 anymore. It's now 10. It's double. But you must still get 3 out of the 10. Which means the woman then gets the rest, which is 7 out of 10. So the man's ratio is 3. And the woman's ratio is 7. You only take the numerators there.
6 and 4.
Yeah. Where?
That woman.
It's woman.
Now it's not.
This one was terrible. I don't know, you guys. This is 4x squared. Are we okay? All of us there?
Yes.
This is 4y squared. Are we okay?
Yes.
This is 16x squared. There are like terms here. The like terms is the 4x squared and the 16x squared. And like terms can be collected by adding or subtracting. So that's going to give you 4 minus 16 is going to give you minus 12x squared minus 4y squared. That is all that you were supposed to do. You get a mark for each correct term. If you miss a minus, then you are not going to get the mark. Here you were supposed to multiply first, that is 3x squared minus 3x minus 7x squared. Are there like terms there?
Yes.
And what are the like terms? Now, if you take 3x squared and you take away 7x squared, you get what? And the 3x is on its own, and that is all that you were supposed to do. I can't give you a mark because if the sign is not there, it's wrong. Okay, now part C, a little bit tricky. Please, you may not multiply this 3 over because the whole bracket must first be squared. You may not multiply the negative 1 that is here over because that must still be squared. So in a nutshell, the best way for you to attempt to do this question, you take the 3 and you say, I'm going to come back to you. Write what x plus 2 means. And also, write what x plus 4 means. The reason why I'm putting x plus 4 also in a different bracket is because this minus is going to change my business that is there. Let me do this. Let me close it here, and let me introduce another one here, because now it looks like that 3 must multiply with everything, but the 3 must only multiply with what is there. If you were to multiply this stuff in the bracket, you'll get x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4x plus 4. Please do that on the side so you can also arrive at the same answer as I do. If you were to multiply everything in this bracket, you'll get x squared plus 8x plus 16. That's what you're going to get. For those of you who don't know how to get that, if I do x plus 4 here, and I do x plus 4 here, let's just change this. So you know it's going to be x times x, which is x squared, which is what I got. Yes? And if you do x times 4, you get 4x. But you'll get 4x again when you do the other one. That is where the 8x that I have comes from. And then you have got 4 times 4, which is 16. And now you have to add those two to give you whatever I have here. You see that? All right? So you can also do the same for these ones in order for you to see how I got to that. But the bottom line is this now. I have that, I have these 2 or these 3 that I can play around with. So you are going to say 3x squared. You know where it comes from? I'm multiplying this with everything. Then this is 12x. You know where that comes from? And this is going to be 12. And now you are multiplying by a negative number. So everything will change. And you collect like terms. My like terms are, and I'm going to write them here, 3x squared minus x squared. That gives you 2x squared. That's already 1 mark. Then I have a 12x take away 8x. That gives me a positive 4x. That's already another mark. Then I have got 12 take away 16. That's negative 4. That's already another mark. 3 marks for this business. I saw what you did there. It was horrible. Algebra is not supposed to be that complicated, people.
I like to say negative 40x plus 4.
No, but because no, it does, but here is your problem first. The square. You need to take care of the square. You cannot just take that negative over, not yet. Because what we are doing is actually bitmas. That means you do brackets and then you do indices and then division multiplication. So you cannot multiply over with that negative 4 or that negative 1. Yeah? You first have to do the indices. That's why you have to say x plus 4 times x plus 4. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let me explain to you. There are people who are introducing things that are not there. Nobody said you must come and put a rectangle here. Number one. There's no need for it. And something else. If this is x, like set A consists of 21 things. That means this x plus something here should give you 21. Set B is this x plus something here should give you 17. So you can't write 21 and 17 there because then it will be more. The question says write your answer in terms of. That means your answer must have an x. You were supposed to do the following. You're just supposed to say this one here will be 21 minus x. That's what that region will be. This one here will be 17 minus x. For doing that, you get 2 beautiful marks. The union, that means everything 21 minus x plus 17 minus x. My goodness, can I just rewrite that? It looks horrible. So it's 21, take away x, add the x, take away, or add 17, take away x. That's an x. Yeah, it's not easy. it should give you 29, because you are told together all of these things must give you 29, the number of elements in the union of A and B. And the only thing you are supposed to do is solve this. You will never get a negative number as an answer. By the way, what is 21 plus 17? 38. Do you know that this negative x and this one cancel? So I'm only going to be left with that one equals to 29. So your only job now, and this is where most of you need to take that 38 over. So your answer becomes minus x equals 29, take away 38. Your answer is minus x is equal to minus 9. Negative, negative cancel. Therefore, x. A lot of you got minus 9. Because of minus, they can't be, if these were people, how is it possible that there are minus 9 people? Some of you did a wrong calculation and then they got to the answer, they realized, wait a minute, it should be a minus, not a minus, they scratched the minus, can I give you the full marks? Because you have arrived at something. Yeah, thank you. I hope because I'm recording. All right.
360. Okay, before we start, I realized.
Can we quickly listen to what Wanda is saying?
I realized there is second. I don't know what was it. It made me realization. Yeah, it realized it's like the second is 360. So me, I was thinking it's 90. I know what's 60.
Can I ask you, what is a revolution?
Wow.
It goes around. How many times does it go around in 1 minute?
1 night.
How many times does the wheel go around in 1 minute?
90.
So that revolution is 360 degrees. One revolution, one rev is equal to 360 degrees. Kasho. Is it not so? One revolution. This here is a 1, Eleni. It's a 1. But it made 90 of them. So how many times did it turn? You were supposed to say 90 times turn, like what Wanda was trying to say. Okay, it's still in standard form. Let's just remove the standard form business. Go back to normal. Pick 2. 32,400. So, 32,400. So I'm going to use a ratio method, right? Right? The question is asking was now 1 second. But we know a minute, 1 minute is equal to how many seconds? Okay. Are we good? Right. So I'm going to use a ratio method. Or you can use this one if you want to. We say 1 second versus 60 seconds. Are you with me? So that's the time. In 1 minute, it goes 3,000. Is it? In 1 minute. 1 minute is 3,000. 32,400. No? Let's just quickly make our method correctly here. We can actually do a different method there. I just want to let me see. I take the seconds versus the seconds. 1 second versus 60 seconds. 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute, right? So in 1 second, it goes how many? Let's write this one revolution. Let's say how many times did it turn. All right? 1 minute, 1 second, we don't know. But we know that 60 seconds, it does it in 32,400. As a divari. This is the seconds I'm comparing. And this is the number of times it turns. In 60 seconds, which is 1 minute, it turns 32,400 degrees. Are you with me?
Much easier way.
I know. But now that I started here, let's just make sure that she gets it. This is the degrees, the number of times the wheel turn. In 1 minute, this 1 minute here is represented by 60 seconds. You follow? In 1 minute, we already determined that's the number of revolutions it will do. That's why I compared it there. But we are looking for 1 second, how many revolutions will it be? So from here, you can do cross multiplication, whatever method you want to. Okay, you can say cross multiply. I'm going to give you your opportunity now for you to do your method. It's not just you. There are a lot of people who have done different. Mr. Kini was giving you the answer in the class.
No.
Whoa! I will ask Mr. Kini. Go right on the board there. I'm going to the next one. I'm going to the last one. This one, for some weird reason, people are giving me answers like 2.5.
60.67. Sir, I want to.
Okay, you guys still remember variation?
Yes, sir.
You still remember proportion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we have got people. And here we have got the duration, I would say days. Are we fine? Right. That's why the ratio method always works. 3 people takes 10 days. Now let's suppose they are working at the same rate. Not other people are sleeping while other people are working. Okay? This assumption is that. How long will it take 5 people to do the same job? Now here's the thing. The more people you employ, the less time you expect the work to be done. You cannot do cross multiplication here because it's not direct proportion. Direct proportion means as one increases, the other one increases. You understand? So it means 3 to 5 with direct proportion, 3 to 5, then it means the other one should also be more. But it doesn't make sense. So the way you do this, you make your arrow horizontal like this. That's the first thing. The moment you realize something is inverse or indirect proportion, né? Then you do that. You say 3 times 10 should be the same as 5 times something should give you the same answer. I can put my 10 there, my x there. So I'm multiplying 3 times 10 divide by 5 for me to get the answer, which happens to be 6 days.
So that was 60. 60. How much? 60.
Now, let's come back here, right? Are you done taking the corrections at Franz? I always like people to prove where they're getting their answers, right? I want Linda to explain to you a method, and Linda's method was nothing wrong with it. I know she put 90 divided by 60. She determined that to be 1.5. I want to know what that is. And then she went 1.5, then she multiplied by 360, and it gives you the same answer. Now, explain to me what is 90, what is...
So in this case,
You must listen.
in this case, the 90 is the times of the how many times the motorcycle